Welcome back. Mike Fitzpatrick from our team here, Dream, on how to become the strongest buyer going into the spring market. Okay, so we're at session 3, and then we're going to have 6 segments. We're going to go over from day 13 to day 18. Excuse me. So first, day 13, we're going to consult a mortgage lender to make our credit better. And this can consist of paying bills down, saving money, and maybe some open trade lines. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get your pre-approval. You got your pre-approval, monthly figure's okay, interest rate's okay, and what you need at the table's okay. This is where you ask your mortgage company and your realtor, what are my options to become a stronger buyer, okay? So the first thing is, when you're putting an offer in on a property, so are other people. So what separates your pre-approval from somebody else? Now, if you ask the typical agent, they're going to say, well, that was probably just a phone verification. You submitted your tax returns, your pay stubs, your bank statements. You're already there. Well, we take it to another level, okay? During the real estate process, when you're under contract, we have to get you mortgage approved. We have to get you committed, mortgage commitment on you. So the mortgage company is basically qualifying 2 people. They're qualifying you and they're qualifying the property. Why can't we qualify you now? We can't qualify the property now because we don't have a property. It's not on our contract. But imagine if that mortgage company was able to qualify you mortgage ready. So the only thing they need to do is qualify that property. That's it. And that's what we do. So you want to ask your mortgage company, can we get a mortgage commitment on me? So this way, when we put the offer in, yours done. There's no issues on you credit. There's no issues on you getting this loan. There's no issues whatsoever. We just have to qualify the property. That's a huge selling point. So another thing is you want to ask the mortgage company, how can I make myself a stronger buyer? Mike, you can actually do this. You can pay down your bills. Okay, great, I'll pay them all off. No, we don't want you paying them off. So say you have a $10,000 credit limit, but your balance is $9,000, but you made payments every month for the last 5 years. Guess what? Your credit score can probably go down. Well, why is that? Because they consider you a high-risk buyer. The reason for this is because if you have a financial difficulty coming up, there's a chance you could default on that loan because you have such a high limit on there, okay, a balance on there. So let's say that limit is $10,000, but your balances are below 1/3, so below $3,300 total. That makes you a stronger buyer. Another thing that can make you a stronger buyer is, you know how you have credit cards? When do they report to the credit agency about your credit? When you miss a payment, right? Well, your bank has a specialty card, and it's through them. Even though it's going to say MasterCard or Visa on there, it's called a secured bank card. You give them $500, you give them $1,000, give them $5,000, give them whatever you want, okay? Whatever you give them, that's your balance. You're going to use that card every single month. I don't care if you go to the store and normally pay cash. Nope, you're going to use the card. Now, also check the fees and all that. I know they implemented credit card fees, but check with your financial institution on that to see if it is a good idea. But what I'm getting at, this secure bank card that now you're using and you're paying off each month, they have to report it every month. They have to report that you made a payment. So imagine that when they report to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, hey, he made a payment. Hey, he made a payment. Hey, he made a payment. Well, that 640 is going to go to a 660. That 680 is going to go to a 700. And that 700 is going to go to a 720. Will that make a difference in your interest rate? It could. You never know until you ask the question. So again, you're going to find out from the mortgage company, what do I need to do? Do I need to pay these debts down? Maybe I have some trade lines, which is an account that I may want to close, or I may want to open one up. Mike, you're fine, but you have a low credit score. Why? Because you don't have any credit. Let's go establish some credit. Get a secure bank card. Go open up a trade line. Maybe you're living with your fiance, girlfriend, whatever, but all the bills are in their names. So you're not getting any credit. But we want to establish you because your salary is $98,000 to $120,000. But we need you on the mortgage, but your credit's so low. So these are the questions that you want to consult with your mortgage company to make you a stronger buyer. So going into day 14, we had our buyer consult. We want to go out there looking at houses. I think we also went over the going out to open houses just to see how they're run. Now we actually want to see what it's like to go through a house with my real estate agent, okay? Whether you're looking to buy now or next year, and it doesn't have to be a high priority for that agent to do this, but you want to at least get a game plan. Okay, Mr. Realtor, I want to go see this property on 123 Main Street. They're going to show you. They're going to set it up Saturday from 1 to 2. You're going to go into property. You're going to see, so when you went through the buyer consult, that last part of it, from A to Z, you're actually going to see what happens from when we get to the property on the outside to what's going to go on inside, and then what happens on the outside. Okay, so when we pull up to the property, one of the first things I'm going to tell you to do when you get to that front door, you're going to do a 180. You're going to look around. You're going to look to your neighbors over here, your neighbors over here, neighbors over here. Is this the neighborhood that I want to come home after a hard day's work and I say, yes, this is the perfect neighborhood? Or am I pulling up to the neighborhood that they got 2 cars that they're working on in the driveway? You got an abandoned house, you got curb appeal. That's all crazy. So that you have no control over. The condition of your house on the inside, cosmetic or major, is what you have control over. So remember that, control, no control? This is a perfect example. You can't tell your neighbors to clean up their property, okay? It's not gonna go well. Now, when you go inside, the one thing you don't wanna do is get tunnel vision. You want that agent to set up a normal way to go through a property. So let's set the standard. We're gonna go upstairs first, we're gonna look at the bedrooms, we're gonna go over our high points, we're gonna go over what I need in the bedrooms, what I need in the bathroom. I'm gonna go downstairs, look at the living room, dining room, kitchen. What are the most important hot points that I mentioned that the house has to have? We're gonna go into the basement. Then after that, then we're gonna walk outside because we don't wanna track too much dirt through the seller's house if possible. We're gonna look at the backyard. We're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna have a system. So upstairs, middle, down, outside, sides, and if we have to go back out the front, that's fine, okay? This is not a rushing game. Okay, make sure the house has all your hot points, and your agent's gonna be bringing that up too. Hey, there's your central air, there's your fenced-in yard. Okay, and don't be afraid when they ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how do you rank this house? The reason why we do that is to get a game plan to find out what you're thinking and how you're grading everything. So let's say you say it's a 7. Okay, great. What do I have to do to make it a 9.5 or a 9? I'm not trying to sell you on a house. Believe it or not, we don't sell houses, okay? When you walk into a house, you're gonna know that that house is for you. What we're selling you on is our value proposition. Why use me over somebody else? Because I'm gonna get you the best deal, stress-free process, and you got a whole team of agents and staff working for you to get you to the table, okay? So again, go back to that question. What's gonna make it to a 9.5? Well, Mike, I love the house. I love everything. It's got all the 5 items that I needed. But you know what? It's priced at $390, even though I'm pre-approved for $400. I don't know. I'm thinking like $380, $385. Okay, we have control over that. So you mean to tell me that if I got you this house for $380, $385, you would put an offer in? Well, yeah. Okay, then I can do that. But let's say you rated it a 7. It's like, Mike, the main bedroom. I kind of wanted like a 15 by 15 or larger. This one feels like a 12 by 12. Okay, I'm not a contractor, I'm not an architect, I can't make that room bigger, okay? So there's gonna be some things I have control over, some things I don't have control over. But the bottom line is you wanna have a game plan. Going into property, 180, upstairs, middle, downstairs, outside, sides, scale of 1 to 10, okay? Routine. Believe it or not, after the 5th or the 6th showing, or maybe the 2nd day of showings, you're gonna say, Mike, I rated it a 7. I didn't even get to that question yet because you know the routine, you know what to expect. All right, next thing is you want your transaction coordinator or your admin to contact you. So Nikki on our team is gonna be contacting you as a buyer and say, hey, look, we want some nice pictures of you, whether it's you guys, your dog, your kids, blah, 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 and a little bio about yourself. So there's gonna be 2 paragraphs. One's a little bio. I grew up in this area, we went to the school districts, we want to continue with our children going into the school district. This is why we picked this area, we only want this area. And then the second paragraph is basically going to be focused on that property. Why do I love that property? Okay, now there's a big asterisk on this day, okay? So there's some people that refuse to promote the buyer flyer letter saying it's illegal, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not illegal, okay? It's not customary for us to put it in an offer, because from a listing agent's point of view or an attorney who represents the seller's point of view, it messes with their head a little bit and pushes them towards that young couple. So let's say that seller 20 years ago bought the house, they were husband and wife, or they were just newly married and they were getting ready to start a family. And all of a sudden, 20 years later, kids are out of the house and, they're getting ready to sell, they want to downsize, and all of a sudden here comes these offers coming in, 400,000, 400,000, and there's one at 390. Why do I want this one at 390? Get this buyer flyer letter, a cute little couple that reminded them about themselves. They read about them, like, yeah, that was us when we bought this house. Oh, and they want to continue the memories. They like this area. I like their offer. I'm going to go with their offer. So I understand why the listing agent and the seller for the attorney for the seller won't like it, because it influences them. But here's the deal. I don't care about the seller. I work with the buyer. My job is to get the buyer into this property. My job is to get the buyer this house. So if there's something that I can do as a connection to get this offer accepted, I'm taking it. If you don't want to present it, that's fine. But there is nothing illegal about doing a buyer flyer letter. My job is to promote my buyer financially. They can qualify. They understand this property. But here, if you're going to do the investigation on my buyer financially and seeing if they're qualified, when you want to make sure that you have the choice of what family to bring in to take over the memories, or you just want to sell it to a flipper who's going to come in there and gut your whole house, all that craftsmanship that you did with the molding and rip everything out. I kind of feel that you want to put the right person in their house. So with that buyer flyer letter, again, you want 2 pictures that Nikki's going to reach out to you about, a little bit about a bio. All right, so day 16, you want the agent to walk through on how they're going to present your offers, okay? So a lot of people take for granted that, hey, if I like this property a lot, I'm going to, I got to give you my sales price, what I want to offer, how much down, pre-approval, what inspections I want. No, but you also want to see how they present your offer. Okay, how is it? Is it just being emailed over, or is there a procedure? Now, Nikki's going to do it. She's going to have 7 documents in there, ranging from the agreement of sale to consumer notice to the pre-approval, all that good stuff. Everything that they need to get your offer accepted. Because we're relying on that listing agent to present our offer in a professional way. So we have to make it professional for them. We also have a breakdown of who we're going to use at home inspection wise, who we're using mortgage company wise, and what inspections we're going to be asking for. We also have contact information for the transaction coordinator, our title company, and mortgage company on there as well. We also have the mortgage company calling the listing agent after the offer is accepted. Now, first I'm going to call and say, hey, Nancy, this is Mike Fitzpatrick over at Our Team Your Dream. We just presented an offer on 123 Main Street. Do you have 5 minutes so I can go over it with you? Sure, Mike, go ahead. And then I tell them about the buyer, tell them why they're a perfect fit for the house, why they like the house, what are they committed to, the offers that are already in there, and I explain who I am, my team, how this is going to be a smooth transaction, and they can basically move on to another deal. We're basically done. And then the mortgage company's going to call and they're going to say how well of a strong buyer you are and how smooth the transaction. Oh, and by the way, Nancy, this is not a pre-approval that we're sending over. They've already been underwritten. The only thing we need to do is qualify your property. I think your chances of getting your offer accepted are going to be very high doing that. All right, so day 17 is where we're going to give you access to certain apps. So this way you can see certain houses. When you give us our criteria, it leaves out a lot of properties. So what happens is our multiple listing service is the hub of all the listings out there. Yes, you do have other sites out there like Zillow, Realtor.com, and all these other Homes.com and stuff like that, but they take the information from us on the MLS and put it out there. But their primary job is not to sell that house. It's to get your contact information. It's get you to sign in with your name, your phone number, your email address, so they can sell that information to other parties like real estate agents and mortgage companies. We don't want that to happen. But if you're looking at properties on there, that's fine. Send us those properties because they probably are not meeting your criteria, because if it was, we'd be sending it to you. We have what's called showing apps, Keller Williams app. We want you to search properties on there, so this way you're not getting bombarded with spam calls and stuff like that. So ask your agent for their app, and so this way the agent will also be notified of what properties you're looking at. All right, day 18. We are now at day 18, and we're going over how to put the strongest offer in. Okay, so we did the buyer flyer letter. We looked through that. Okay, here's your presentation on how you send the offers over. But Mike, what can we do to put the strongest offer in? And you're not going to ask that on your first time putting an offer in, which you should be. When are you going to ask that? When your offer gets beat. Well, wait a minute. Well, we offered $400,000. What was the winning bid? $405. Well, Mike, I would have went $405. Well, you didn't want to start there. You wanted to start at $399. You wanted to start at $400. Well, Mike, if I would have known that the highest offer was $405, I would have put in a $410 offer. That's why we have an escalation clause. So these are items that sometimes real estate agents, especially new ones, they don't know to ask for this. So let's say I'm looking at this house. They're asking $390 for it. I'm going to offer $400. I guarantee to get this house. Not really. Somebody can offer $415. Well, how much are you willing to pay for this house? I'm willing to go as high as $425, but Mike, I don't want to start there. No, you're going to put your offer in for $410 or $400, but you're going to have an escalation clause all the way up to $425. Well, Mike, what happens if he just calls me back and says, you know what, we got a $424, but you win at $425? No, they have to provide us with the actual offer that they have. And we beat them only by $2,000. So if they have a $420 offer, you automatically beat them by $422. This form is not always accepted, but it's telling the real estate agent what you're willing to do. They don't have to honor it, but most of the time they do. And they always call a mortgage company to make sure that they are qualified for it, that they can do it. What are some of the other items to submit a stronger offer? First of all, you want to make sure it's presentable. Am I getting one that's handwritten? Am I getting one that's not filled out correctly? You want a professional done. You want all the forms in. You want to make sure that that real estate agent, when they present your offer, it's the Raymour Flanagan and not the Kmart version. You want the top of the line. You want that listing agent to be able to, present your offer in a very professional way. So you want to have everything laid out. Is there anything I can do to make it stronger? Sure, to get the mortgage commitment compared to the, or mortgage underwritten compared to the pre-approval. Maybe putting down $10,000 instead of $1,000. Mike, what's the difference? Not really. You have so many contingencies, you're not going to lose that money. Put down $10,000. It doesn't disappear. It goes right into the closing costs. You're going to get that money back. And if you have to use a contingency to get out of the contract, you get all that money back. Put the $10,000 down. Inspections. Do I want to go for all the inspections? If the house is immaculate, still get your inspections, but maybe put a cap on it. So these are items that you can do to make your offer really, really strong, okay? And for more questions on that, please follow up with us. And that leaves us off for today's segment. So we covered 18 days so far. We had 3 series so far. And of course, if you have any questions, continue to the 4th one. My name is Mike Fitzpatrick with Our Team Your Dream, and we can be reached at 267-549-2505. And of course, if you have any questions, real estate, mortgage, or title, please reach out to us. Thanks a lot.